You know, I got a talking to this morning. A talking to. Tall Evelyn herself came to my room just to deliver her decree. Sounded like she was up all night meticulously crafting it, getting every word just so, making sure she stays on the outskirts of her feelings on the subject. Got to keep her nose clean. It's all a heap of nonsense. I mean, old Harry down the hall, he can barely go a day without a so-called transgression and cheer or a fresh word there. He never gets more than a smirk or a wag of the finger. Hell, he's practically encouraged. It's because most of his target audience finds it cute. Them lady nurses. And tall Evelyn thinks what he's doing is, well, just natural. Tell you. Well, my target audience, he found it cute. That new young fella. I interrupted his constant staring at that whizzy McGig phone of his. I needed help adjusting this damn wheelchair, so I asked him, and in so doing, that neck of his ended up an inch or so from my lips. No, I shouldn't have done it, but I got myself confused is all. He smelled just like my Clem. I couldn't help but give him just a little peckle right behind that ear. And my transgression was a rescue mission. Snapped him right back into the world. Probably the most exciting thing that ever happened to him. I mean, you've seen them. These younger folks are all zombified by them things, hiding in them phones for dear life. Like heaven forbid they experience the moment of actual human contact. Contact. Tell me something now. Is there even still life out there? If there's still life out there, I wouldn't mind getting out of here just a bit to see it. You know, breathe it, roll around in it, drink it, or up and down. It's just, I could use a little help is all. Nobody has to know. We could be back here before tall Evelyn goes out on her next patrol. Or even better, how about at night? Tonight, after she goes home. I know just the place. Ain't far off. It's just a ways down the river. You know, most of the folk in here ain't of my ilk. Gets lonely. Nighttime especially. If I could just get out there, find out if the world is still living. And if it ain't, hell, I could do like I done to that fella yesterday and nudge him right back into consciousness. Guess them phones things is not so different from what I did when I lived all boxed up. But me and my books, at least I came up for air. And you had to find things out to make sense of your own back at school, I read the whole of Moby Dick. Titles are misleading. I got all the way to the end and trying to go back to the beginning. Thought I missed something. Turns out I did. Just not what I thought. I had to read deeper. You know, that Melville, he was of my ilk. Tell you had to work real hard to find out anything back then. And you had to find things out to make sense of your own self. To cull a whole identity out of the wind. Puffs of air. Whispers. Sneers. The turn of the pages. Boys like me, we wasn't crammed into some senseless old mold like all them other boys. Though adults all did their damnedest cramming us in where we didn't belong. When I was 7 or 8, my father brought home this set of gilt-edged encyclopedias. A to Z. Oh, this page is all shimmering. Was around that time I've been hearing this word. Not said to me directly, at least not yet. But I knew it had something to do with me. People would say it, not often, but they'd say it. It'd sit in their mouth for a hard half of a second like it was spoiled milk. And when they said it, they'd steal a quick gander on my way, all surreptitious like. So this one afternoon, when nobody else was home, I made my way over to the volume G to look it up.
Mm-hmm.
There it was, with a note in italics sending me over to H. And so I opened up H, flipped my way over, scanned down with my finger, and there it was. Homosexual. I read that first sentence and I shut that book right quick and hard, figured if I read anymore, it mean I was one. So I left it alone for a while, a few days maybe. When I went back, I read another sentence and then another. And this went on for a few more weeks until I read the whole damn thing many times over. That word, I was that word. I am that word. But I couldn't tell nobody about it, not a soul. That is, if I wanted to live. One day, revisiting my page, I noticed something terrifying. I'd visited that page so many times, holding on for dear life while I pored over them words, that the corner up top got bent and wrinkled in such a way that whenever you open that book, it near automatically opened right to that exact page. You could see somebody had been toiling over those words for hours, many times over. This was not good. I was the most likely suspect in the house. I had to make sure no one else got near that book again. I became the sentinel of Volume H. I went and learned everything there was to learn about anything starting with H. What? Honduras? You got to write an essay on Honduras? I'll write it for you. My heart was sunken around in my chest and broke out in a sweat all over. Hyena? Habeas corpus? William Randolph Hearst? What you want to know? Just so full of panic and shame. And I was all alone. Till I got myself managed to get out, away from that town. I had me some good times and some real good living, for a while anyway. Clementine. My Clementine. Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling. I can still smell him. We had a nice family of friends, too. And that lake house the two of us bought, well, we kept it all filled up all summer with them friends. Still feel my bare feet on the slate patio, sometimes unbearably hot. And sometimes so nice and cool. Hardly ever in between. That's the way everything was. Hardly ever in between. They're all gone now. Have been for decades. Sort of all at once. I'm the sole survivor. So what do you say? You gonna take me out of here? One night of living? You know, when Tall Evelyn goes home, you can meet me out back, out in the parking lot. It's just I got this idea in my gut that my only life left on this earth is just an echo, a memory, my memory. And when I go, it'll all dissipate with me. I'll head off into oblivion and, it'll follow suit. It'd all be a little bit more bearable if I knew I was leaving behind a world that's still living instead of taking it all with me. With a whistle or a couple of playful intimations, maybe a little peckle behind the ear on a shimmering night, just like this one. What do you say?